God will make it happen at his own right time. The glorifying will happen just like that. And all this is because of God's favor upon my life, God's mercy upon my life. Wow. The things that come from God come with fruits, and that is the fruits of the Holy Spirit: love, joy, peace, God's promises. That's all I want. Hey my loves, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please make sure you watch it to the end and subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I upload. And today's video is part of a series that we've been kind of doing, Holy Spirit led, and that is take up your position ASAP. Like God is saying, take up your position. And the first episode, I talked about those people who are praying to take the position, and the second kind of people who are already in the position but the enemy is lying to them. Go and watch that video. The second episode of take up your position, I spoke about from the second episode you have already taken up your position, and this third episode is about already being in your position and God being about to just blow your mind in this position. We are talking about God taking you out of the waiting season, wilderness season, dry season, while you are in the process of taking up your position. Now we are at the point where God now is blessing you, the blessings that God has for you. I was reading Isaiah chapter 60 and I was amazed. My mind was opened with how God can actually bless you. We always think that the things we're asking God for are too big, but we don't know the thoughts of God. His thoughts are wider, bigger, higher, deeper than our thoughts, and they're so much better than what we ask of him. And I'm gonna use my journal, of course, what I wrote. That's what I'm gonna read to you guys because it's more personalized, but you can in your free time go and read Isaiah chapter 60. It's about God glorifying me. God is about to glorify you in that position that you're in. In the second episode, we talked about where God is gonna meet you, taking your position so that God can meet you. Now God has already met you, and the things he's about to do will blow your mind. So I read it before I went to church on Sunday, and I remember the pastor saying that the way God usually acts, he piles up your blessings so that when it's time to release them, it's back to back to back to back, and it's quickly. It happens so quickly. Your elevation sparks up, and that's because he was preparing you in your wilderness season. So let me read. I am arising and allowing myself to shine because my light has come, and that light is God's glory upon my life, from verses 1. This chapter is about being in your promised land or your harvest season. The world is full of darkness, my surroundings and my environment, and the Lord has made it so that his glory upon my life will be seen by everyone, and so that he can use me to be the light in the world, the light in the darkness. That's from verses 2 to verses 3. Even kings, royalties, important people, big people, people in higher social status will be attracted by my light, the light that God has given me. I will attract many people, verses 4. I will radiate joy, abundance, and all these people will bring me wealth, verses 5, because of the things that they will come with to appreciate, to glorify the light that God has given me, verses 6 to 7, and to minister to me. They are a cloud of people, many people, verses 8. And because of them, my social status, my financial status is rising to a higher level, making me an important person, verses 9. All because God has glorified me. Great. Foreigners, people I don't even know, will protect me at all costs. And all this is because of God's favor upon my life, and it's because of God's mercy upon my life. Wow. The gates of opportunities, the gates of gifts, the light that is bringing these people will be endless, will be continuous, will be consistent, will never be shut, just because of how much these people want to bless me. Even the people will be endless, from verses 11. That actually reminds me of a limiting belief I had. God uses people to come and bless you, and I had gotten to a point where I'm like, who are you gonna use next? Like when God has used the people who are in your mind, and now you're like, who else? And God surprised me, y'all. He will use people that you don't even think, that you don't even know. I am a testimony. Those who despised me or rejected me before or oppressed me will come to me and bow to me because of how God has glorified me. That is from verses 14. Also reminds me of what the pastor said last Sunday. And he said that those who are your enemies, they become God's enemies, such that those who despise you or oppress you in your trial season, in all these challenges in life, they become God's enemies. Reminds me of the story of Judas, the one who was going to betray Jesus, and Jesus said, woe to him who is going to betray Jesus. And that was Judas Iscariot. It had to be done, though. It was under God's will for them to oppress you, to despise you, to deny Jesus. But woe to them, they will become enemies of God. I will be majestic and big forever, meaning my status will never change and my joy will be forever. From verses 15 reminds me that the blessings that God gives to us, the promise that comes from God, never ends. It's always sufficient. Anything that comes from God, it's always there. Reminds me of Joshua chapter 1, the promises that Joshua was telling his people just before he took them to the promised land. God's promise is gonna come with the provision and nobody's gonna be able to take it away from them. Go and read that chapter, guys. I will feed on the hard work of prominent people. Ding ding ding. Reminds me of Ecclesiastes. If you watched that video again, watch my video, guys. I will have everlasting peace and righteousness. That's from verses 17. Everlasting praise and salvation, verses 18. Things that come from God come with fruits, and that is the fruits of the Holy Spirit: love, joy, peace. They literally have no worries, like God's promises. That's all I want, because they're the most peaceful, joyous, happy, everlasting. I will receive my light from God. God will be the source of all that I have. The light in me, the gifts and the opportunities will all come from God. Verses 19 to 20. Crying and weeping is over. The days of sorrow are over forever. From verses 20. I hope, ding ding ding, you watched my video on Cry No More. Like, I love the way the Holy Spirit is giving me topics to talk about. They're all connected to each other, because God has planted me strategically and worked on me, perfected me, and prepared me so that he can glorify me. Be happy in your wilderness season. Also watch all my other videos. They're all about wilderness and waiting season. That's from verses 21. God makes the least, the smallest things or people mighty and great at his perfect time, and it will happen quickly. Just like that, he will hasten it. That is the last verse of chapter 60 of verses 22 that we always quote. God will make it happen at his own right time, just like that. The glorifying will happen just like that. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope as you're taking your position, you are happy with the season that you're in, because when the time comes for God to glorify you, it will be unbelievable. Very unbelievable. The whole world will know, the whole nation will know, and that is your nation, your surroundings. They will see the glory of God upon your life. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you're encouraged though, and I'm gonna see you on my next video. Bye.